Hi, welcome to my set of videos. This is Patricia Ann Landon Regali, Chief Little Flower, coming at you from the trenches of having been targeted. I am a targeted individual that have been targeted since about the age of 25 for about a couple of years. Then it would recess into the background on and off until the year of COVID, about 2020, whenever gang stalking had reemerged in full force and full effect. At the time of this recording, it is November 2024, and the gang stalking, the PSYOP assignments still continue. And so my videos they're about my experiences as a targeted individual. I had been railroaded out of a successful and thriving career as a paramedic. I've been a paramedic for about 13 years before I walked away from my profession as a paramedic for two reasons. The first one was so I could speak freely about being heavily targeted and gang stalked in medical facilities by other medical professionals. If I were to hold a job in the medical world, that would be a huge conflict of interest for me and any potential employer. And so I have a passion for sharing this with the world because what's happened to me can happen to anybody. And if we were to shrink in fear, how would anybody ever rise up to protect themselves and to arm themselves with the knowledge of objective data? And additionally, since I was being targeted in the medical world, I knew it was a matter of time before somebody was paid to bear false accusations against my license. In other words, it was a matter of time before people would just make false accusations on my license. So those were the two reasons why I had nobly walked away from my career as a paramedic. And so I decided not to renew my license, because if my license was inert and non-viable, nobody could make any accusation against it. So I stayed 10 steps ahead of the community-based harassment. And so these videos are about my thoughts. They're about my experiences as a heavily targeted individual. So thank you for stopping. Hey, so today's topic is going to be about graduating into indigent status. So whenever the gang stalk, if you're familiar with my story, whenever gang stalking had come to settle and roost its big booty in my life, I was already in the throes of my own career. I'd made the most I'd ever made as a single parent, as a person ever, during COVID. And ironically, I was being gang stalked unmercifully as a public servant working Texas Medical Center during COVID. I've got plenty of videos for that. I haven't really mentioned any of my EMS experience during COVID. However, I was captain of my own ship, running my own house. I had my own dependents. I actually had a Jeep Wrangler, and I also had an RV camper, and so on and so forth. Suffice enough to say, I was moving and grooving and doing my own thing. And ironically, while I was working COVID, people were going in and out of my house. I have evidence as that of that to talk about it another time. But suffice enough to say, I've done everything. I've been a mother with a family, caring for my children, caring for the husband that I had at the time. We now are exed and estranged, and I allege he's been part of the one spearheading the PSYOP assignments that these raggedy ass, no integrity gang stalkers do, thinking that the secondhand information they're getting through the treason section of the government has any solidarity to it. What you guys do is participate in smear campaigns and not even smart enough to be smarter than the average smear campaigner. You need to learn how to shut that shit down. Just because the government dressed up in a nice suit comes to approach you about X, Y, and Z, it's the same goddamn government that passed out them smallpox blankets to the Indians on the Oregon Trail of Tears. So, but which thwarted me into my next life, which was being an indigent, which I do with great pride because I've already done the gamut. I've shopped for a home, I've shopped for cars, I shopped for groceries. I have been a very well provided for wife, while the husband worked out of town regularly and I alleged cheated on me regularly, but whatever. Yes, I know, Tim. It's okay. I forgive you. I turn you over to the Most High, bitch. But nonetheless, Merry Christmas. May we all be accountable and exposed. If you don't like what I'm saying, take me to court. See how that works out for each of us. That's how steadfast I am in my information that I've gleaned from the ethers and from my own intuitive experiences. But so, you know, if you think, for all of you antagonists out there, for all of you people thinking that you're getting one over on me by making me impoverished and having to live a lifestyle, I really don't care. I have learned to find the sunshine in every aspect of life, and on top of that, I really appreciate all of the experiences I've had because it's put me more in touch with humanity. It's put me more in touch with the needs within the context of our own country, within our own government. So if you think that had taken the wind out of my sails, you're so sadly mistaken, because every hardship I've ever endured, I have been thankful for, because it has enlightened me, chastened me, brought me to closer to God. So there's nothing you can do to me to knock me off my square. I will always be thankful for everything, and I am walking in truth, so therefore I have the anointing of the Most High to speak freely about my experiences and about what I've garnered and gleaned from this national white glove holocaust, which actually is global. So I appreciate every level of life that I've been in. It would be helpful to have donations, sure, but I'm not seeking or asking for them right now, and haven't been for a while. But I have encouraged gang stalkers to replace the items usurped from me simply for their benefit, because what you did was curse yourselves, and everything that was taken from me, if you don't replace it, you're really fucked. Because if you want to salvage your own salvation and get right with yourself and stop the heavy hand of karma from pummeling your booty, you have to return that. And if you can't return it, well, you just fucked. And you're going to have to enjoy every aspect the gang stalking has brought into my life. I have been run out of a home, had to live out of shelters. You get to be run out of homes. You will have to find shelters that will take you in, like many targeted individuals have to do, and even get thwarted out of that because of all of the bribing, because of all of the corrupt upon corruption within the context of our government and our politicians. So if you had usurped a car from your targeted individual, bitch, you better get that car back to them, or a car back to them, because with everything that you did, you're going to lose your transportation. You're going to lose your sense of stability. You're going to lose your sense of happiness. And you're going to have to dig deep and learn that happiness is a choice. Because if you've been interdependent on your extrinsic environment, you're going to be sad when you're going to have to learn how to dig deep and be happy from your own intrinsic environment. So good luck to you guys. There ain't nothing anybody can do to knock me off my square inwardly. And honestly, it's been one big adventure for me. So I don't feel in lack. I don't feel in I don't feel untoward. I've been very thankful, and I'm very happy for everything I've learned. I've prayed to God and said, if I've got to be going through this, let me learn what I can from it, because with every hardship that you endure, you end up with the armor sculpted specifically from that pile of catastrophe, from that pile of hardship, from that pile of untowardness that others had ensued upon you. Just like with your stupid little noise campaigns, like when they love to do is slam the door. I'm like, okay, you guys are slamming the door. You've already done the pretend of the hair pulling or pretended the nail biting. So I know who the gang stalkers are. And God bless you, I still love you anyway. So just don't think that if you've been running game on your targeted individuals and you turn around and you're all nice to them, that niceness is going to get you anywhere. All that is a fucking mask. Because when you enacted the goddamn gang stalker, you showed the whole world who you really are. And you're somebody that ain't got no integrity. So you all are dead and don't even know it. I'd fix and amend your own salvation if I were you. But if you don't care, well then more power to you. You do you, boo-boo. You do you.